What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Breakdown Sportscast. I'm your good friend and host, Corey Willis. Hope everyone out there is doing well on a Sunday. Hope you guys enjoyed the first round of the college football playoffs. I know Chris and I did as well. So overall, I hope you all out there had a great weekend and enjoyed some great college football as well. Indeed. As always, guys, we appreciate you all tapping in with us here on the Breakdown Sportscast. If you want to follow us, you know where to find us on social media. We're on X, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok at BD Sportscast. You can find all of our content there. If you also want to listen to past and present episodes of the Breakdown Sportscast, we got you covered. You can listen to a bevy of our episodes on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, whatever you listen to your podcast, your favorite podcast. We are on there for you guys as well. And also, we appreciate you all of coming into the chats, of course, watching the live streams here on our official YouTube channel and our official Twitch channel at Breakdown Video Game Cast. We appreciate you guys' support on those channels as well. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe on those channels. It definitely helps us out as we continue to grow this community for you guys, bringing some of the best content here in terms of college football. So, as always, guys, let your friends know about us. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers, guys. If we can get to 100 subscribers, we can definitely put your name into a raffle for a chance to get some free swag courtesy of Chris and I of your favorite school of your choosing as a token of our appreciation. So, yeah, guys, definitely do that. Of course, we appreciate you guys' support as always. As always, you know who I'm with. I'm with my good friend and co-host. He is Chris Bolton. Chris, what's going on, man?
Nothing much. How we feeling, Corey?
I was doing good on a Sunday. Watching a little bit of Ravens football. Got Ravens, Patriots going on. So yeah.
So yeah, we do got that going on. Looks like I don't know if Lamar's going to be able to make it back. So we'll see if this game goes sideways for Ravens. Sounds like how their season is going. It's gone sideways, and we saw some seasons go sideways on Saturday in the playoff. Friday night too at that, Corey.
Yeah, indeed we did, Chris. Not everyone's season is still, filled with sunshine and rainbows out there. Everyone's all happy and jolly. Since we're talking about the holiday season, everyone and everything. I mean, yeah, some people are kind of agitated right now. They Christmas. It's not looking like a white Christmas during bowl season for some of these teams. I should say so.
Yeah, it's rough for a few of them, man. We're gonna have to highlight it. One of them said, hey, we might have lost, but we're gonna leave with something. But the other three, man, they just straight up took L's.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Chris. So. Yeah, look, it's the first round of the college football playoffs, Chris. Not everyone can be patted on the back and advance to the next round. It has to be one team out of these first four games of the playoffs to get rewarded some more continuation of football for their season. So, it comes with the territory, but hey, you still have to look at what you accomplished if you're one of those teams that were on the outside looking in this weekend and say, hey, what can we do to build on top of that? So, it's not all bad. It could be worse. You can not be going to a bowl game at all.
Yeah. It could be worse, but hey, it's how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, it's definitely how the cookie crumbles indeed, Chris. So, look, So it's college football. It's college football playoffs. Yeah, you take the good with the bad, like I said, and you try to figure out how you can become a better football team in the future. So that's what I can say for those teams that didn't win over the weekend. But overall, Chris, we can go ahead and delve into the week that was in college football. We had the first round. Of course, it's in the books, and now we know the teams that are advancing to the quarterfinals now, Chris. Great games by all of these teams indeed. I guess we can go ahead and go in order, Chris. We'll start off with the game in Norman, Oklahoma. We had the Sooners, Oklahoma Sooners, taking on the Alabama Crimson Tide in that game. It was a good game, Chris. It went down to the wire, but of course, there can only be one team to win, and that was Alabama. They won that game 34-24 in Norman, Oklahoma. And now they advance to take on Indiana, Chris. That's gonna be an interesting game because Kalen DeBoer, he has past history in Indiana,
Mm-hmm.
taking on
Mm-hmm.
Kurt Signetti. So yeah, I can't wait for that one indeed, Chris. But what were your thoughts about the game in Norman between the Tide and the Sooners?
Man, that was a fun game, crazy game. Uh, it was like that meme. They had us in the first half. Yeah, that's how I felt for Alabama, I'm sure. I mean, things got off to a rocky start, indeed, down 17 zip. Um, but as soon as the Tide started rolling, they things really did start to roll in their favor. And this team, they to be on the road, to have had the struggles that they've had this past month, coming off a disappointing SEC championship game, to stay locked in and ready for the moment to change the tune of this game, and to take advantage of opportunity to flip momentum. It says a lot about Alabama's character, and you have to credit this team for staying composed and locked in. And a little miscommunication with Oklahoma. John Mateer throws a pick six, and we're off and rolling from there. And so it seemed like it was only a matter of time before Alabama figured things out. Oklahoma's offense was looking the best it's looked in a long time that first half, Corey. They were moving the ball downfield. Um, but credit to Alabama's coaching staff for making adjustments at half. And that quarterback run with Mateer was killing them initially, but they were able to slow it down. And it just seemed like Oklahoma's offense just ran out of gas, ran out of steam, Corey. It was only a matter of time. It felt like the same, almost West Point footballish, Corey. It was like the same 5, 6 plays. You know what I'm saying? Hey, they kept running them, and them suckers were working. But at some point, Alabama, they adjusted. And, hey, man, if you only got so many plays, your offense is going to become stagnant. And that's what happened that second half. So credit to Alabama. This game played out very similar to how we said. I mean, Alabama's rushing attack had its moments. I think they had their longest run of the season from line of scrimmage since like week 2 with like a 30-yard run. Um, that was impressive, but it was the passing game, man. It was Ty Simpson. It was the special teams group coming up big. It was the defense. It was all around great team effort. And the Tide, they get the win. It wasn't pretty, but Kalen DeBoer can sleep well at night. You can sleep a little better, and you got to get ready for Indiana. But you know, at least the season isn't over, and your team showed a lot of heart and mettle and character, and I think everyone has to respect Alabama no matter what the score is. This team is very live to come back and beat anyone with the talent they have on the team and with the athletes and how dynamic this passing game can be, Corey.
I think you're right, Chris. Say what you want to say about um, Alabama and their inept running, rushing attack, their ability to gain yards through the ground, or anything else about this team. You know, sometimes they can be very lackadaisical on defense at times, and it definitely showed that in this game. Overall, this team still finds ways to win big ball games when they need to. Do they do it every time? No. We've seen them also lose big ball games as well. But when their back is against the wall, and some of our audience members have mentioned in our comments, Chris, when their back is against the wall, Alabama can be very, very dangerous. With or without Nick Saban. They definitely still have that identity about them. And that was one of the main reasons why they won this game on Friday. They took advantage when they needed to. And hey, you got to give them kudos off of that. Most teams wouldn't do that. So them finding a way to win this ball game in Norman. It was a great environment, of course. They brought 50 Cent out. He was out here rapping Mini Man. Like, look, the stage was set, Chris, for these guys to just fall into the sunken place. But they figured it out. So, look, I gotta give Kalen DeBoer and their coaching staff at Alabama kudos. They really could have fell by the wayside, and it would have been tough for them to make it out of the hole that they were in. And they dug back out, and they won this game in style, Chris. And look, in the playoffs, it don't matter how you win, just win at the end of the day. Like we'll talk about that in a little while with the Miami and Texas A&M game. Yeah, just find ways to win. You are in the playoffs now. And if you can find ways to survive and continue to play football throughout this whole playoff format, then hey, do what you got to do. So, like I said, big ups to Alabama by advancing and figuring out a way to stop Oklahoma. And hey, if you're Oklahoma fan, it this was par for the course. It was always going to come out this way, and you were going to have a performance like this that was going to rear its ugly head. And now, if you're Brent Venables, you got to find a way to be more productive on offense. Like I don't know how they're going to do it, Chris, but they got to find a way to be a better productive team, because Oklahoma too, they got a lot of players as well, and not capitalizing off of that by scoring more points, especially against the Alabama team that still has guys like Jeremy Bernard and all those guys out there, and Ty Simpson. Yeah, you got to figure out a way to overcome that. So I think this offseason is going to be very interesting for Brent Venables and that coaching staff, indeed.
Yeah, you got to figure something out. Part of me wonders. I mean, is it a scheme thing? Because this offense was dynamic before Mateer's hand injury, so it's hard to just say like it's a scheme thing, because I've seen this offense look top tier, and it also seems like Mateer just hasn't been the same guy, even with how he is in the pocket. His mechanics have been off, Corey. Throws that he should be able to make and was making early in the season, he isn't making anymore. He isn't settled in the pocket, feet all over the place, jumping while throwing the ball. Like, it's just stuff like that, and it makes a big difference whether someone's catching the ball on time or even potentially throwing an interception. So I think you'll definitely see Oklahoma be a player in the portal as they will definitely be trying to find a quarterback because I believe this is Mateer's last year of eligibility, if I'm not mistaken. So if he has another year, then they can be able to try to fix things. But I want to say this is Mateer's last year, Corey. Check. Let me let me know if I'm right or wrong on that. Because if he is leaving, I expect Oklahoma to be a player in the portal for QB. If he's returning, then put him on ice for a couple months. Like let him heal, let him get healthy, let him watch film, let him see the mistakes he was making. Because early in the season, he was looking like a Heisman hopeful. That material that we saw on the field the last half of the season and Friday night, that's not the guy that Oklahoma brought in via the portal to lead their attack, to lead the offense. But they got to definitely get some things figured out here this offseason. Venables his seat will be hot next year, and that's coming off a playoff appearance. But losing like this, the fan base won't be happy. The fan base won't be happy with how this offense looks, and so that has to be rectified ASAP. It's one thing to make the playoff and lose, but when you go up 17 and then the offense just gasses out, all the air is deflated out the stadium, and in 7 minutes it's a tied ball game going into half. That's not going to cut it at Oklahoma. Especially this is a team a program that just had Lincoln Riley there. They if there's one thing that they know, it's offense, and this is the offense that Venables has been rolling out there post Lincoln Riley. It probably got some people like, hey man, we missing Lincoln right now, dog. I'd rather us lose 38, 38, 35, 45, 42 than how we out here looking. Going up 17 and just losing it, that ain't gonna cut it. So yeah, they gotta get some things fixed ASAP.
Agreed. And yeah, from what I can see, Chris, John Mateer, he's a red shirt junior. So
Okay.
he should have another year. If he has another year, I think he should come back. I think he should not declare for the NFL draft at all. I think he needs to take that time to heal up. Whatever, still nagging, issues with that hand injury, and work on his footwork and his accuracy as well. I think he has to work on all of that this off season and try to run it back in Norman next season because yeah, the offense was just a lot to be left
It was night and
desired.
day.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
night and day.
it was not the offense that they ran pre Texas.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. Makes you think should they have kept playing Michael Hawkins for a few more weeks to let Mateer heal up. I mean, it seems I don't know. I just don't think this was. I don't think he's healthy. Just put it out there. I don't think he's healthy. So.
Yeah, I don't think he ever was healthy. After that hand injury, I think he should have never had came back. To be honest with you,
Especially not as fast as he returned.
mm-hmm. Yeah, but they really, I think he really wanted to play against Texas, and that kind of came out to be no, you shouldn't have played against Texas at that point. And look, uh, shout out to guys that want to be competitive. They want to win. They want to put everything on the line. But yeah, I think from what we can see this season, John Mateer had never came back that early. He just was not ready physically to perform in the way that he did in those first couple of games before the Red River rivalry game. So yeah, I think that's pretty much my thoughts on it, Chris. You know, shout out to Alabama by getting the victory. The game against Indiana is going to be very interesting indeed. I can't wait for that one. And yeah, it should be a fun one indeed.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, man. Well, we will go ahead now, Chris, and we'll talk about the game that happened in College Station, Texas. Miami taking on Texas A&M. This game was crazy, but in the end, Chris, there had to be a winner. There had to be a loser, unfortunately. And Miami comes out on top 10-3. Yes, that is not a typo, folks. That was the score. 10-3 was your final in this ball game. Miami wins with a game clinching interception after Malachi Tony gets the end around touchdown. Chris, a great play, just a great athlete he is. No one can catch him when he sees green. Chris, he's gone. That boy gone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, just a clutch performance by Miami by going into that environment. First and foremost, Chris, going into that environment in College Station, the place is crazy. Over 100,000 people plus there in attendance on a really good Saturday. That game in general, and I can take a test to it. It was a nice day in the Central Texas area, and
It's windy.
it was just windy. It was windy, and boy,
Mm-hmm.
you saw it on the football field because kicks were going left and right. No one could get anything.
Yeah, man. Yeah, those kickers, man. Those poor kickers had them questioning themselves.
That they did. They probably still question themselves right now, Chris. Oh
Mm-hmm.
man, like man, how could I miss something that easy? Like, well, the wind had something to say about
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, overall, Chris, a great performance by Miami by sealing the deal in this ball game. What were your thoughts about Miami conquering this game overall?
Wasn't pretty, but Miami found a way. Carson Beck didn't have the stats, didn't have the numbers. But what I will say about Carson Beck is he didn't make any mistakes. He stayed composed, did what the coaches asked of him with how the game was being called. And um, Fletcher was big time for Miami, carrying the team with his legs and had several big plays, grinding out yards, had some explosives as well, put them in position to get that touchdown for Tony at the end of the game. The defense, for the most part, played a good game. And kind of like Alabama, made plays when they had to make plays. A&M was in the red zone several times. A&M was living in Miami's half of the field. But like we mentioned, Corey, hey, Marcel Reed, he can win you the game. He can trick the game off for you too. And Marcel Reed tricked this one away, boy. He had some tough ones, some plays, some interceptions, fumble. He had the kicker forgetting how to kick, had to put the other kicker out there and have him try to brave the elements. It was a wild, wacky game. The win was incredible. I mean, it messed up both kickers, but Miami stayed composed. And despite some of the mistakes that they had a couple coverage busts in the secondary, when it came time to clamp down and keep you out the end zone, that's what they did. And so we learned Miami can play. They love to play high tempo, high scoring, upbeat football. But this team, they got the cojones. They can when you want to play mano y mano, old school 1990s football where the final score is 10-3. We can do that too if you want to grind it out, tough it out. And I'll say this: I think the biggest winner of the weekend, even bigger winner than Kalen DeBoer, Corey, is Mario Cristobal. Miami and Mario Cristobal had to win this game. With everybody has been talking about with the talent you're having at Miami, and you can't make the playoff, or you make the playoff, well, you got to produce. Well, now he can show them we won, and I think that will some of the heat that has been on him and how warm the seat has been. I think that seat can cool off now because Miami has had Miami's back now. Miami just won a playoff game, Corey. Miami is relevant. So we can say the U is back. Now, is it back to the level it was from the mid '80s to the early 2000s? No, we ain't there yet. And I don't know if we're going to ever see a run like that again. It's a different college football, Corey. But for what the standards are today and being relevant and competing, Miami is back.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah. Look, this was a big litmus test, Chris, for Miami this weekend. Mario Cristobal needed to win a game like this. He's been getting, you know, pretty much beaten from the media pundits out there for the last what, like 2-3 years now. Especially last year. But he was this year as well. Like, some people were having their doubts on a guy like Mario Cristobal. Could he win big games like this? He had a big game this weekend, and he saw, he conquered, and look, he got his team out of there with the W. And in a very hard environment, like we talk about Kyle Field all the time, Chris, it's very hard to win in that stadium. And I'm sure he knew that going in. And what you look at there, they found a way to win a big time ball game in advance to the next round. These are the types of games that you need, um, types of showcases that you need if you're Mario Cristobal and you're being doubted like this. And for him, he knew that, and he got his team to get the victory. He has a heck of a football team, and a talented football team, to say the least. There's tons of talent on this ball team that want to win, and just like any other team out there, they want to win. They want to produce, and it is great to see that they found a way to win this ball game. Indeed, I love what I see week in and week out from Malachi Tony. This guy's just a freshman doing what he's doing, and he just got there. This man, this man should be somewhere high fiving his teammates after winning a state championship or something right now. Like he really isn't supposed to be playing for Miami right now, but he's there helping this team out going into the next round against Ohio State, which is going to be a really big game. Interested to hear your take about that, Chris. But yeah, it's great to see moments like this. And just like Kalen DeBoer, another guy that was also doubted as well, winning a playoff game indeed. So it's great to see these coaches and great to see these programs find ways to win games where there's a lot of people that are doubting them, and saying like, hey, you probably don't even have the leader to get you there to the next round, and they find ways to do it. So yeah, that's pretty much my take on this game, Chris. It was filled with defensive stops. Of course, this was a defensive game. It was a hard hitting game as well. You saw it, and yeah, there had to be a winner. There had to be a loser. But overall, Miami found a way to beat A&M, and we can see what happens when they take on Ohio State. Really high high octane offense that they got to prepare for. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, yeah, we will see what happens. And real quick, just on A&M real fast. They want to figure some things out with Marcel Reed, Corey. I know Marcel is still relatively young. I want to say he's a sophomore. Um, he needs to clean some things up this offseason, man. He can take this team far. I just don't know if he's that guy. Is this Marcel Reed's ceiling? He had a great season. Made mistakes too, though, and I think the level of competition that he played made it to where they weren't able to be fully exposed and undressed due to the mistakes he was making. They still were just that much better than those teams that they were playing. I don't know if that's going to be the case next season. So, Coach Elko, you're going to have to sit down with the staff and figure some things out because I think you have the pieces in place to be back in the playoff, to be a competitor and be one of the premier programs in the SEC. Is Marcel Reed the guy to take you where you need to go? That's what I have questions about. So we'll see what A&M does this offseason. But I mean, look at the wide receiver room: Corey, Concepcion, Craver. The defense clearly can lock up with how they held Miami in check for the most part. You can your quarterback take you there? And I don't know if Marcel Reed can. I personally, I would like to see him make that leap and that step, and I'm giving him some grace because he is still a young quarterback in the grand scheme of things. This was his first full season as the guy. But just point blank period. A&M's national championship hopes, they rest on him, Corey, going forward these next couple seasons.
Agree, and I'm with you too, Chris. I'm going to give him a little bit more of a leadway as well because he had to fix some things in terms of him being a better quarterback heading into this season, and he did. I think there were people that were talking about, his lack of stepping into the pocket and making those tough throws when he needed to, and actually planting his feet correctly, little things like that. And he fixed those things. He had tweaked those things throughout the season. You saw it. You saw that he could be a better quarterback when at times when it mattered. But you could also still see moments where he was pressing. And those are young mistakes still. And for him being in that moment, getting that opportunity, um, at the quarterback position where he's QB1 essentially. Yeah, I'm sure that there were times where he he could definitely wish he could take back some of those mistakes that he made and be better at those mistakes. And look, he's learning, and hopefully, um, and this is why I'm in agreement with you with. Hopefully, he takes a big step forward next season and works on a lot of those decision making um, improvements to be a better
Yeah.
quarterback because he needs that. If he can do that, I think the sky's the limit for Marcel Reed. But he has all the intangibles. He can run. When he makes good throws, he makes those good throws. He just needs to put everything together to be a smarter, better quarterback.
I think he just needs to watch a lot of football. He feels like to me someone who plays football and not necessarily a football player. And you
Yeah.
can still be a great player with that. I mean, I think Michael Vick will tell you himself. Michael Vick, he had a really good career, and for the most part, he was a player who played football. He didn't it didn't all come together until later in his career with the help of Andy Reid, and once he really took the studying the film and understanding the X's and O's seriously. He was out there living off talent. He told us that himself in the documentary. Um, I think Marcel Reed just needs to live in the film room and watch football. Like not just you ain't just gotta watch your own game. like watch football in general. It could be from the 90s, the 2000s, like literally just lab watching football, lab watching what great quarterbacks do. Because he has capabilities. He's just a little off timing sometimes. He wants to see the receiver be open. And at this level of play in the SEC, which is basically right below the NFL, you're not going to see guys open for the most part. You're going to have to throw people open. You're going to have to just have the feel, know what you're seeing before the play starts. And if he can get to that level, I mean, it can make him a top 5, top 3 pick in the NFL draft after next season. He's that kind of talent. If he makes that kind of leap, A&M can very well win the national championship. Marcel Reed can win the Heisman, and Marcel Reed could be a guy that's going top 3 in the NFL draft after next season.
I agree with you, Chris. Definitely, most definitely. So yeah, there's still time for him to be a really good quarterback. Like I said, he just needs to put it all together, and hopefully he does heading into next season. Because I think Texas A&M can run this back again next season and be right there in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mike Elko is locked in making sure he has a dominant defense in the SEC. Has to in this league, no doubt about it. And yeah, hey, if he can definitely bring in some more great talent to go around guys like Reed and Craver and all of those guys, I think this team can be right there in it next season. So we will see. We would definitely see what happens, Chris. But I think it was a great season for Texas A&M overall. They took that next step, which was
Yeah,
important.
just a sour taste in how it ends, but or how it ended. But overall, the grand scheme of things, year 2 under Mike Elko, and you
Mm-hmm.
make the playoff, host playoff game. I think that's a successful season.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It definitely a successful season indeed. So hey, you got to build off on that. If they can do that, sky's the limit for this Aggies team. So they got some really good players that are on there that are invested and want to be great. So we'll see what happens indeed. All right, Chris. Now we're gonna go down to Oxford, Mississippi. Yes, that's right. Ole Miss made it to their first ever college football playoff berth, Chris, and took on Tulane. And they beat down Tulane.
I
Made it.
saying it's not gonna be much for us to talk about with this one played.
Nothing for us to talk about, Chris. But I think it's much more to talk about in terms of Pete Golden and getting this opportunity
Mm-hmm.
than Ole Miss slapping around Tulane for 4 quarters. 41-10 was your final in this one, folks. Ole Miss now advances to the Sugar Bowl to take on Georgia. Your Georgia Bulldogs, Chris, are patiently waiting for those Rebels. We'll see what
Mm-hmm.
happens with
Mm-hmm.
that one. I'll kind of
Mm-hmm.
get your thoughts about that before we wrap up today's show. Um, yeah, what were your thoughts, Chris, about Ole Miss in getting that opportunity? Um, they don't have Lane Kiffin anymore, of course. Pete Golden is now the head man in charge there in Oxford, and you can just tell this team, they really love Pete Golden. They gravitate
Mm-hmm.
around the guy. They want to see this guy be successful. What were your thoughts about just the moment in seeing Ole Miss get the dub and getting ready for Georgia in the Sugar Bowl?
Yeah, Ole Miss, was pretty much for the most part on offense firing on all cylinders. The team was putting up points. Trinidad Chambliss played well. Did exit for a moment. Austin Simmons came in, had some good plays. Did have that mistake though, right before half. But it looked like Austin Simmons can definitely, step in if needed and hold up his own. The mistake really came with the backup running back being in and Lacey being out, and there was a missed blocking assignment. And so, curious to see monitor Lacey's health because he's going to be a huge player for Ole Miss if they want any chance of beating Georgia. No Lacey, I don't think it's going to happen. As well as he runs the football, he's good at pass protection too, pass pro, and that's what ended up biting Ole Miss in their butt at before halftime, um, with Simmons getting hit. So, but overall, man, yeah, Ole Miss looked good. Golding's doing his thing. Weiss was continue to had offense humming. Um, I think we'll see possibly the impact of no Lane Kiffin this next matchup against Georgia, depending on like the feel of the game, the play calling, because that's Lane Kiffin's mo. Well, we're going to see if Weiss can get in his bag when it counts the most, Charlie Weiss Jr., and level up and prove that he's one of the top play callers in college football. This will be his opportunity. But yeah, Ole Miss, man, they look good. They look good. They did what they were supposed to do, and this wasn't going to be the game where we feel the impact of Lane Kiffin. But let's see, man, will we feel the impact of Lane Kiffin? This team, you go out here and beat Georgia, Corey. Hey, ain't no better FU to Lane Kiffin than going out here and beating the Bulldogs. That's going to be the win of the round, I would say. Honestly, a lot of people look at Georgia as a potential team in the national championship game, let alone losing in the quarterfinals. Ole Miss gets a win against the Bulldogs. Whew. Boy, you better get your timeline ready, boy. You ain't gonna hear the end of it from Ole Miss fans.
Oh, don't worry, Chris. Me rocking what I'm rocking right now. I'll never hear. Oh man, but to be honest with you and to be fair, for the Ole Miss folks listening to the show, that would be massive if you can knock out the Georgia Bulldogs in the quarterfinal. Yeah, like me and Chris have talked about, and like I feel like Georgia is a scary football team right now, and at times when they get like this, they're very tough to beat. If you can beat this Georgia team right now that's riding high off of an SEC championship and just waiting for you in the Sugar Bowl, yeah, we're gonna be talking a lot about that game. And who knows, you may be meeting Miami or Ohio State in the next round in the semifinals. So don't want to get ahead too much for Rebels fans, but just to say, if that was to happen, that would be massive indeed, and a big time moment for that program that has went through so much turmoil in terms of their coach leaving and pretty much justifying it, Chris. Justifying that, hey, I don't want to coach in the college football playoffs when I can literally stay here and coach. Crazy times that we're living in, but hey, you can make it even crazier, Ole Miss, if you were to beat Georgia in the quarterfinals of the CFP. So it's gonna be interesting, indeed, Chris. I'd say this team, and Pete Golden pretty much said it. He was like, "Hey, this is Charlie Weiss Jr.'s offense. This isn't Lane Kiffin's offense. This is his. He put his foot down and made it be known." And hey, that's what you want in a leader. And
Even if it was Lane Kiffin's offense, it's Charlie Weiss's offense now.
Exactly. Exactly. It's Charlie Weiss's offense, and it showed on
And
Saturday.
he's sticking around too with this team going forward.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
I think so. I think he is. Yeah, it's crazy, and hearing all of the stories during the game that Lane had approached Golden and said, "Hey, let's go ahead and do great things and get up out of Oxford and let's go make it happen at LSU." And Pete Golden's like, "No, I want to stay here in Oxford and do big things with these guys in the playoffs and going forward." Like I can just imagine being a fly on the wall hearing that conversation,
Yeah.
and yeah, just a crazy conversation. I'm sure that Pete Golden had with Lane
Game of
Kiffin.
Thrones Oxford edition.
It definitely was. Oh
There
man,
was a whole lot going on in the background in
yep.
Oxford.
So much betrayal, so much animosity.
You gotta get on this plane now, or you got 30 minutes. Meet me at the tarmac. I mean, it was. I'm sure it was a whole lot going on.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It why would it not? You got Lane Kiffin there. Create all the chaos.
Leaving in only ways Lane Kiffin would leave.
Exactly. So yeah, man. Yeah, it's definitely a great moment for the Rebels, and now they advance to take on Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, Chris. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that game, indeed. But yeah,
Yes,
man,
sir.
a great moment for the Rebels, and now we'll see what happens with them moving forward. Well, now, Chris, we have one final game, just like the one that we just got done talking about. Oregon, James Madison. This wasn't a game either.
Unserious football.
Unserious football indeed. 51-34 was your final. Oregon now advances to take on Texas Tech. They're not James Madison. They're a completely different team. And yeah, they'll be taking on each other in the Orange Bowl. And that one's going to be a massive game indeed, Chris. What were your thoughts about seeing Oregon just conquer this football game, Chris? Because, man, I feel like going to sleep. And I feel like at one point I did go to sleep watching this game.
The game felt like a pointless game. We knew Oregon was going to just be way too much for them, talent wise. But shout out to James Madison for not giving up. They went out swinging. They did not lay down. They weren't going to be punked. They played great football that second half, especially the fourth quarter. And Oregon, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be taking out everything that happened in that Ohio State game. You should have took it out on James Madison. They should have been on the receiving end of the beatdown you took. You should have been implementing. And you let off the gas in the fourth quarter. Uncharacteristic mistakes, secondary getting beat deep by a team that doesn't even throw the football well, Corey. It'd be one thing if James Madison was known for throwing the football. They are a team that runs the ball. You forced them to have to step back and pass, and they was torching you. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. The game had me mad. It had me mad. It was how it ended. Just that's not how you end the game if you're a team that people are saying could be a sneaky national championship winner. People are talking about Oregon winning the chip. That doesn't look like a team. How they finished and played that second half does not look like a team that's going to go out here and win a national championship. So it leaves a sour taste in my mouth. I have a lot to think about when it comes to this Oregon Texas Tech game because I don't know which side of the coin I'm going to lie on. I don't know which one I'm picking. I don't know. I'm gonna be thinking about this all week. I have no idea who I'm picking to win this game. Oregon can play with anybody in the nation, and they also can fold too. This is a very untrustworthy team. Texas Tech, elite defense, has not been here before. It's not that they're untrustworthy. We just don't know what Texas Tech really is until you play these kind of games, Corey. I don't know what I'm picking. I don't know what I have no idea how I'm gonna pick that game. That game is. I'm just over here combusting and my mind is just going all over the place trying to think about who's gonna win it. But yeah, good win Oregon. But y'all make me sick. That was not championship level. That fourth quarter, that second half.
Look, looking at the score, look, I kept telling myself, Chris, and I told you before we started getting on the air that had Oregon not scored their last touchdown to get it to 51, I'm really starting to ask questions like, hey, like like this could be a game right now. James Madison could somehow figure out a way to possibly either tie it up or get ahead of you. That was the alarming thing for me in this one. It just because you were beating these guys going into halftime. Left no prisoners.
Yeah. It was 38 to I want to say it was the 30 was it 38 to 6 or 30 was it 38 to 6, 34 to 6? What was the score at half?
It was looks like 34 to 6 at
34 to
halftime.
6. Yeah, it was 34 to 6.
Yeah. 34 to 6 at halftime. Come on now. These guys find a way to muster up 34 points in total in this game. Which, look, I'll still
most
say
that anybody scored on Oregon all season.
Yeah, I'll still say it. Bob Chesney, great coach,
and
great motivator.
Outgained Oregon by 4 yards, I want to say too.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it's yeah, when you look at this game, yeah, it was definitely crazy by how they found ways to really put Oregon to the woodshed at times, and I say that and saying that Oregon still beat down on James Madison, but it wasn't definitive. I should say, like they definitely still came to play. They should have ran them off the field. They should have ran them off the field, and it didn't look like that going after the halftime. James Madison found ways to still score points. Now, I know some people are probably going to say that, look, they took the starters out, and that's one of the reasons why James Madison still found a way to score points. It don't matter to me. This is James Madison in the Oz Zoo. Like, beat them down. Showcase why you were pissed off this whole offseason leading to this moment. The last time you were in the playoffs, you were getting dog walked by Ohio State. Make it be known. You want to be here. And look, you can tell by Dan Lannon's like demeanor.
Oh, he was hot.
He was hot.
He was 38 hot.
Yeah. He
wasn't celebrating in the locker room after the game.
No, because he knows. He knows. Like, try to play a game like this against Texas Tech and see what happens. See what happens when you got to play against Bear Morton for 4 quarters. And not just Bear Morton, that whole defense from Texas Tech. Try to finagle your way out of that situation. Don't worry, I'll wait. You know that's what he's thinking. That's what he's thinking right now as we're talking.
Yeah. and he's thinking of the character of his team.
Yep.
You let up. That's not the character of a killer. You want your team to be killers.
Mm-hmm.
National championship teams are killers. Ohio State didn't stop putting that belt to y'all's ass, and we saw what they went on to do because they were some killers. They went on to win the national championship.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta play that way if you're a national championship winning team, and you didn't. So there's real questions of surrounding you now, and maybe even in your coach's mind. He ain't gonna tell you. Dan Lanning ain't gonna say it, but he has questions about his team. Because that's not, he said it even before the fourth quarter started. We got to go finish, which I'm sure he's been telling the guys, and the coaches were telling the guys on the sidelines. And what did they do? Not finish.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much what it was, Chris. Hey, yeah, you can look at the score and say, hey, then they beat down on James Madison. You can look at it and say, no, it looked like James Madison beat down on you. It could have made it interesting toward the fourth quarter. Hey, like I'm saying now, Chris, and you've been on the bandwagon as well too. Texas A&M, Texas Tech, excuse me, is a very, very good team, and they're not gonna just pity pat with Oregon. They're here to win. A team that haven't had a moment like this in a long time in Texas Tech history. They got a really good team, really good offense, led by Barry Morton. A really, really good defense. Oh yeah, they got some killers. Rodriguez, a killer. He ain't gonna be playing around with them. So that's what I'm interested in seeing. I'm interested in seeing that battle between the defense at Texas Tech and Oregon's offense, and vice versa. I want to see Oregon's defense take on Texas Tech's offense. It's gonna be a big game. Is Dan Lanning and company ready for it? We'll see, but they can't have an outing like they had on Saturday night. I'll say that much, because if they do, it's gonna be doomsday.
Yeah, you're right. And then he'll be the one on the hot seat entering next season.
Oh boy. Well, Dan Lanning, you don't want to be on the hot seat. You just got done.
To win.
Yeah.
He got to make the semis. You can't lose back-to-back seasons in the quarterfinals. 1 year being the low key, you got screwed now. But you were the number one overall team, number one overall seed, and in this season, it wouldn't even be losing to a blue blood. You'd be losing to Texas Tech, respectfully.
That I know. Yeah. So yeah, man, they got a lot to work on between now and when they play Texas Tech, which would be January the 1st, New Year's Day. So it's gonna be a big game indeed, Chris. I can't wait to watch that one, break it all down here on the show when we come back from the holiday break. So yeah, man, we will see what happens indeed. But yeah, those were the 4 first round playoff games of the CFP. It was great viewing over the weekend, and now we're getting ready for those quarterfinal games. Indeed, those should be just as fun in seeing who advances to the semis. So yeah, Chris, a great couple games that we got a chance to watch. Now, before we head out of here, we want to go ahead and give off our Chief of the Week for the first round of the college football playoffs. That's right, folks. Chief of the Week for the first round goes to none other than Mark Fletcher Jr. Got to give it to this guy, Chris. Had a heck of a day by beating Texas A&M in College Station. He had 17 carries, 172 yards. His longest of the day, Chris, was a 56-yarder through the ground. Just a heck of a day for Mark Fletcher Jr. And hearing his story about his bond with his dad, of course, and starting his day with eating the oats, of course. You can see it, Chris. You can see that he ate his oats. He ate his oatmeal for the day. I don't know about the rest of that Texas A&M defense, but they ain't those. Oh
Hey,
man.
Fletcher was out there going stupid. I mean, just big run after big run. Like, he was incredible. He was incredible. Like Carson Beck in the passing attack didn't do much of anything, in with the win. You ain't worry about the win when you handing that bad boy off to Mark Fletcher. He doing all the work at that point. And what did he do?
Yes. Yeah, he made it work. And look, he's the sole reason why I feel like Miami won that game. Without his production on the ground, Chris, I don't think we would be talking about Miami winning this ball game indeed. So shout out to Fletcher by having a big day on the ground. He was marvelous by running the football in this game.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. He is our chief of the week for the first round of the CFP. We'll see what happens, indeed, Chris, for the quarterfinals. Who's gonna win the award for chief of the week during that week? So a lot of big games indeed, and I just can't wait for us to talk about it here on the show.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Well, that's pretty much it for Chris and I, of course, folks. We always appreciate you all tapping in with us here on the show. Before we head out of here, we got some outros. Chris, I'll go ahead and start with you, brother. Go ahead and let the good folks know where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, you can find your boy on X at Chris_Bolton_12 and on Instagram at Chris.Bolton_. Holla at your boy.
Awesome. And yeah, folks, you can find me on X at Listen to KSW. I'm on there talking college football, of course, professional wrestling, all of that. So yeah, guys, definitely follow me on there. Yeah, that's it for us, guys. We appreciate you all as always tapping it in with us here on the Breakdown Sportscast. We'll try to be back. We'll try to do something before Christmas. That way, we can go ahead and let you guys enjoy the holidays with your friends and family. I know gotta let my friend Chris here enjoy the holidays as well. So we'll try to cook up something, one more episode to finish out 2025. To kind of let you guys enjoy the holiday season and get ready for those quarterfinal games. And we'll be back in January 2026 to get ready for those semis and the national championship as well. So yeah, guys, still a lot of great games. Bowl season is heating up. We had the Xbox Bowl, Chris. That was great. Seeing Master Chief give out trophies. I'm like, man, this is amazing.
Hey, you can't take this away from us, man. The Xbox Bowl got to be a staple.
Look, they gotta keep that. The Pop-Tarts Bowl. Look, you gotta keep that. Like there's non-negotiable.
Hey, I'm about ready to say we need to put the Xbox Bowl in the playoff. I need that right there with the Rose Bowl, the Sugar Bowl. I need that in one of the big bowls.
Hey, look, if we expand this thing to 16 teams, I'm all for it. Like, bring it, Xbox, do it. Oh man, yeah, man. Look, that would definitely be something indeed. But no, it definitely show you that bowl season is alive, and I hope everyone out there is definitely enjoying some of the bowls out there. And hopefully, you guys continue to enjoy the bowls during this holiday break. So yeah, guys. But yeah, that's it for Chris and I. Like I said, we'll be back. We'll figure things out, and we'll let you guys know when we'll have another episode to close out the year. Indeed. But until next time, guys. I'm Corey Willis. He's Chris Bolton. You are listening to the Breakdown Sportscast. We will chat with y'all later. Peace.
Peace.